topic would be layering. I have discovered one base fragrance, and then I tried three fragrances that are quite similar to each other as a layer combination. My name is Red, and this is my YouTube channel. Let's do this. Layering. I have three fragrances that are quite similar to each other, and I imagined maybe each of them would be perfect to create a layering combo with one base fragrance. And the base fragrance is from the house of Lattafa, Ragba Wood Intense. And these are the three fragrances that I sprayed on top of Ragba Wood Intense on different places of my arms. Again, 2 sprays of Ragba Wood Intense on each part. First one that combines with Ragba Wood Intense is Valentino Uomo Intense. The second one would be my vintage 2012 Christian Dior Homme Intense. And finally, the last one is the cheapie Futura Homme from the house of Armaf. I spray this 4 sprays on top of the 2 sprays from Ragba Wood Intense. And then I sprayed Valentino Uomo Intense 3 sprays, and Dior Homme Intense also the same 3 sprays. Now, this would be like a classroom discussion. I took down notes and I'm just gonna read it because it's hard for me to memorize my evaluation. So bear with me. From the top, all of them are all sweet. Ragba Wood Intense is basically underneath. A strong alcohol initially coming from Futura Homme. Now from the top, covering Ragba Wood Intense, Valentino Uomo Intense is thick, powerful, spicy, and creamy. Now from the top of Dior Homme Intense, covering Ragba Wood Intense, initially it smells very aromatic, it smells lipsticky and velvety. And finally, Futura Homme from the house of Armaf, covering Ragba Wood Intense, on the top, it is very soft, but still it managed to cover the smell of Ragba Wood Intense. But it has the softness of the powder, and then softness of the woods, and the softness of rubber. There is a rubber vibe upon mixing it up with Ragba Wood Intense straight from the top. Now, if you were to ask me, Valentino Uomo Intense is warm, and in this stage, the best combo on the initial stage would be Valentino Uomo Intense and Ragba Wood Intense. And by the mid, Dior Homme Intense remains to be intact, while the Valentino Uomo Intense started to having the vibe of Prada L'Homme Intense. And then this iris tends to act like or smell like papyrus. It is still warm, it is still thick. And then the Dior Homme Intense is, as I've said, remain intact with its DNA, and it really smells classy and high quality. But then there is the tartness or the souriness coming from the vetiver, a really soft earthiness. And also, Dior Homme Intense became quite chocolatey, and there's some soft spiciness with it. So that's the combination of Dior Homme Intense on the mid stage, covering Ragba Wood Intense. Now on the mid stage of Futura Homme, covering Ragba Wood Intense, I would say there is a vibe of Prada L'Homme. It tends to be creamier and more chocolatey in a soft way, because Futura Homme, as you may all know, is quite a soft fragrance, but it still managed to cover the strength of the Ragba Wood Intense composition, and even Ragba Wood Intense soft animalic undertone. By the mid stage, for me, the winner would be Dior Homme Intense. And over the dry down or by the base, Ragba Wood Intense with Valentino Uomo Intense still remains to be intact with its warmth, and it is more sensual, and it is still sweet, but the leather in Valentino Uomo Intense sticks to the dry down. That adds more masculinity and power. And I would imagine that combo would be very long lasting. On the other hand, the Rubber Wood Intense with Dior Homme Intense at the base, surprisingly, the DHI DNA remained intact. It becomes more aromatic and it becomes fresh, spicy, and it really smells top class and sexy. And finally, by the base of Rubber Wood Intense combining with Futura La Homme, it tends to be the Futura La Homme really goes into the light mode. It becomes to be light, sweet, woody, soft, creamy with some chocolate vibe. So it is also sensual. Now the Rubber Wood Intense with the DHI is really balanced. And then Rubber Wood Intense with Valentino Uomo Intense, it becomes more Valentino Uomo Intense over the dry down going to close to skin. While the Ragba Wood Intense with Futura La Homme becomes more Ragba over the close to skin. In fact, even when the dry down starts, the sugariness and the soft animalic undertone of Ragba Wood Intense comes out already and beating the Futura La Homme from Armaf. So in this combination, by the dry down, I would say the winner when it comes to the best smelling combo or layer would be Ragba Wood Intense with Dior Homme Intense on top. Ragba Wood Intense with Dior Homme Intense. It is a perfect balance of both fragrances. This is really the best, the perfect balanced scent composition of Dior Homme Intense. The cedar, I think the cedar, the amber, and the vanilla. So, for me, winner of this layering for the best combo with Ragba Wood Intense would be Dior Homme Intense. It is really good. I can also smell a hint of lavender and a hint of vetiver. So guys, if you have any of these fragrances, Valentino Uomo Intense, Dior Homme Intense, La Futura or Futura La Homme from Armaf, and if you have Ragba Wood Intense along in your collection, do try it. Thank you so much guys, and I hope you have learned something from this experiment that I had on layering Ragba Wood Intense with 3 of the beautiful gourmands coming from different houses, sharing almost the same DNA, but eventually having different results, especially over the dry down and close to skin. If you find this review quite helpful and entertaining, please subscribe to my channel so I would be more inspired to upload more videos in the coming days. Once again, my name is Red. This is my YouTube channel. Let's do this.